Every DUI starts the same.
Missoula Patrol Sergeant Josh Valinkity's been in law enforcement for more than a decade and has pulled over his fair share of impaired drivers. Many are routine arrests.
They'll admit they're over the limit, but they will not admit to the fact or recognize that them being over the limit is dangerous.
Then there's the danger you don't see.
Yeah, I've read studies that say people drive drunk up to 80 times before they're ever caught. So for the person that has 3, 4, 5 DUIs on their record, it's not unreasonable to think they may have driven drunk thousands of times.
The Montana Department of Justice shows so far we've had 57 deaths on Montana roads this year, 27 related to impaired driving. Figures from the Missoula County Sheriff's Office show in 2019 there were 192 citations or arrests for impaired driving, and this year we're up to 27. It was years ago when the state launched a program called Vision Zero, a goal to eliminate all traffic fatalities on Montana roads. The Drive Safe Missoula program is part of that, and home for the DUI Task Force and the Buckle Up Montana Coalition. The goal is to improve highway safety on all levels, from seatbelts to sobriety. It's the latter that's been a struggle in this state.
Montana is one of the worst states, if not the worst state in the entire United States as far as driving drunk or intoxicated or impaired. Vision Zero is very possible. We just need people to, one, be in control of their choices and choose to drive sober.
Steve Schmidt says Drive Safe Missoula addresses all those dangers out on the roads, especially those we can control. But with our chronic drunk driving problem, maybe there's a better way to send that message to those who still don't get it.
The Center for Health and Safety Culture out of Bozeman is really focusing on the entire messaging for DUI prevention to get away from the authoritarian, drive sober or get pulled over. They're really trying to avoid that, what causes what's called psychological reactance, where people are like, yeah, don't tell me what to do. We can formulate things where people can make their own choices and really understand not what's in it for them and what's in it for the community as a whole to drive sober.
And that's the goal, to stop drunk driving and the death and injuries it so often causes. It is something always on the minds of law enforcement.
It's painful to arrest the same person over and over again for DUI, and it doesn't appear that they're going to change. And at some point in time, you wonder why, and you wonder if there's anything else you can do to change that. And ultimately, I think it just becomes normal, and you internalize it as this is the way it is. And that is an unsafe place for the public to be, and it's an unhealthy place for law enforcement as well as the public to be.
In Missoula, Jill Valley, MTN News.